You are now tuned in to Hollywood Wayz with Doug and Bre-Z. Oh, hey Ted.
All right, welcome to Hollywood Wayz. I'm excited because I have my star back, and it's been like 3 weeks where I'm kind of mumbling to myself. I know Ted is here, and I get it, but Bre-Z, we're glad to have you back. What's happening? What is going on with you? Yeah? You look good, although I got to be honest, with everything that's going on in L.A., you can't see her outfit except on the vlog, and it doesn't matter, by the way. Just let's be clear. I don't care if she's white, black, anything. Right now, I saw her in the parking lot where we had a robbery a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, shit, and then I go, oh, it's Bre-Z. So are you attempting to look a little tougher with what's going on right now?
I'm just not really worried about what I'm wearing these days.
Yeah.
Because clearly that is the thing that's making me a target.
Yeah,
So I'm kind of playing it more casual than usual.
and you look good, so I don't want to say like you should dress whatever you want. It's just right now we're all a little hypersensitive. We'll get into that in a minute. But what's been going on? How's shooting?
Shooting has been nonstop. I mean, we are well into season 4, which is cool. I could talk about now because everybody knows that I'm back and I'm not dead. Shooting has been nonstop. We are working to get this thing done. Kind of like just about at our midway point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But just a lot going on, and COVID still has a big effect on shows these days.
Did someone get sick or what?
I mean, yeah, I don't recall a time since we've started that we don't have at least one COVID case.
It's unbelievable.
Depending on who you are, what zone you're in, it's very effective. You know, it affects everybody. So,
Yeah.
when that happens, rescheduling has to take place almost immediately. So the days you thought you were off, you're not.
Right.
You thought you were working for one scene, now they're doing all 5 of yours in one day. You know, so.
That's the hardest part of it. When you're on call all the time and you can't really and again, let's be clear, we're all fucking psyched to be working whatever we are, but it makes your life hard to function. And you got a child that you take care of, or I mean,
I think that's one thing about Hollywood people don't know, because I've seen people get excited and want to be here, and they finally get, like, let's just say a show, because TV and film's a lot different, but with TV it's like you're gonna have to be there.
yeah.
You're gonna have to be there, and this is going on for a long time, to where a movie is, what, about 3-4 months
Yeah.
to shoot.
But it's also different because when you're doing a single camera drama, and especially I think you guys have a lot of night scenes, right? I mean that's how.
We do both.
But I mean, but a night, I deliberately on Entourage, I used to not write night scenes, even party scenes. You'll see sometimes they're like the day parties and that was really because I don't like to be up all night, and some people don't get that. That's actually it's a grind.
It's a luxury of writing.
Yeah.
Everybody doesn't feel like that. You know what I'm saying?
But some writers are like, listen, I just want it to be authentic as possible, which whatever, we can speak about that. But I guess what I was saying is the difference between an hour drama and a multicam. Like, people don't get, like, a multicam, especially, the Friends, they had gotten it down to a science at the end of their run where they would only work the last day, So it was 1 day a week to make that.
What was that? That was a 3-camera show.
That was a 3-camera show.
They don't even do that.
But they weren't even doing run-throughs at the end. So, like most multi-camera shows, you do a run-through, which is like a play before you actually film it. And the Friends decided, basically a rehearsal, but the Friends decided, we got this down, and you're paying us $1 million a week, so we want to be there as little as possible. So their job at the end was like a few hours a week.
So with 3 cameras, was it less takes?
Well, they do it live in front of an audience. If they have to get something.
That's where Bentley was
Right.
in those type of shows.
Yeah, so that's what you want to do, by the way, as the great job, if you can get it and it's on a working show, I mean, then you're kind of doing a play. So you're not, when you're doing a single camera that's like a movie every single week, you were on set all day. And I think, Scott Kahn, who's a good friend of mine, who was on, Hawaii Five-0.
Watching Varsity Blues the other night.
Scott's awesome, yeah.
He's so young.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because I've seen him now, because of you.
Yeah.
He's older, but I've seen him young, and I thought that movie was good.
We were all young once, Bre-Z, and no longer. I don't know what happened, but there's Ted Foxman in the booth. I'm glad you're back, and I want to, when we come back, I want to get into some news stories and some life that's happening on in L.A. So we'll be right back. All right, so welcome back, Hollywood Wayz. So, got a bunch of things to talk about. First one, which is the big thing in the news, which you have some personal connection to, but Jussie Smollett. Did you have scenes with him on Empire?
Oh yeah, I had a lot
And what were your thoughts on him?
Jesse's cool. That whole cast was cool. Everybody was cool. Like I don't know. And when this whole ordeal initially happened, I mean, I was getting calls out the ass from every media outlet you can think of, and I'm like, wait, like what happened? And that's not the person I know, So I couldn't really speak to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I wasn't there.
Right.
What I do know is that I lived in Chicago for years, and I did not like it. I didn't like it. It was very sketchy. Where we filmed at was sketchy. I don't care where you lived at. It was just a sketchy city for me.
But not to get political, because obviously the crime rate in Chicago is flying through the roof. We know that. But do you mean sketchy? You felt as a black woman sketchy, or you just meant overall?
Who you
Right.
It's as sketchy as LA feels right
Yeah.
now. That's how I felt in Chicago. And then I also didn't know anyone. And like when you're doing these shows, if this show is shooting in Vancouver, you got to go to Vancouver.
Right.
I don't even know which way is north in Vancouver.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it was like a fish out of water, me going to Chicago.
Yeah.
So I kind of believe that, I used to walk to a 7-Eleven every night to have dinner because I didn't know where to go and I didn't have a car and I'm not really traveling that far in the city. So in the beginning, I was like, well, shoot, I used to walk to a 7-Eleven and it was sketch.
Yeah.
I was hungry.
Yeah, but
so.
I guess what the problem is that I'm having right now with the whole freaking universe, and I think you know me, I want social justice, I want equality for everybody on the planet Earth, but the problem to me that I'm seeing is the media and stuff like, I mean, listen, we got to say it, the guy was found guilty. Of lying and creating this whole thing. But the bigger problem is it's not just that he lied and it's all the problems it created for the system. It's that the media went off on this thing and again divides us, that we're all at war with each other. And I really do believe this. I believe the media is making the situation so much worse. If you're a black kid anywhere and you turn on the news right now, I believe you will be terrified of every single cop that you see. And if you're us living in LA right now, which it is real that the crime rate is rising, but the media will now pounce on that. And we're all walking around. We really are. And we were robbed the other day here, so it's not like it's not happening. But we're all walking around really scared and really paranoid. And that's what kind of creates the problem and the divisiveness. And again, I mean,
If it would have happened now, it would have probably been more believable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he should have waited. His timing was off. But I find it.
Unfortunately, in the court of law, I mean, you can appeal it, you can do all that stuff, but when you have a jury and they come up with their answer, then that's just it. And it's unfortunate.
But it was such a crazy, in my mind, such a crazy hoax. And I guess what the problem is, and I'm not saying it on the left or the right, they both do it. They take these stories and they just go, okay, this is fact, forget everything. And because this is 3 years ago already. And it took 3 years to, by the way, he's never going to do any jail time. So
The sucky part is that there was only 3 people involved. What else can anyone say?
But what about what a giant viral moment. Like, I can't come up with shit from my Instagram to get this kind of attention. This guy really... If he would have put his mind to some creative endeavors that were not stupid, but...
I mean, I agree with you if, in fact, it was a planned thing. You know what I mean?
Do you still doubt it? Really, the party?
I just don't. I wasn't there.
No, I know,
so
but...
I'm kind of just staying there. Like, I wasn't there. I don't know what to tell you. And I've spoken to him. I think I've spoken to him, like, since then.
Yeah.
I've spoken to him in the past 3 years. You know what I mean? It's like...
Well, I guess that's the kind of the thing, right? This thing in the world, though, is like, even when, again, I know there are juries that have railroaded people. We know that. But he went to trial. A jury convicted him. And still now people, and I'm not saying you, but people will go like, well, we don't know because we weren't there. We never are going to know 1,000,000% for sure. But the fact is, the guy said he masturbated with the other guy, and it's like...
He's having a good time. Who doesn't like a good time? He's having a good time.
You really want to get to know those kinds of people.
That wasn't a crime.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what I mean?
definitely not a crime.
If he was having a good time, like, whatever. And it happens. I think it's just, again, unfortunate situation, bad call. Bad flag on the play, whatever it was.
I think you and I are on the same page that racism, of course it exists, but we're making it worse by the second. And still, in my mind, this country is the most liberal place on the planet Earth. It may not be the best. There's a lot of fucking problems, but I think we got to stop. Every time the media puts a story up, we got to start going, oh, yeah. They got it. And we got to wait for the facts, and we got to let the system work, man.
That's what media is for.
Yeah, it's storytellers.
That's what it's for. So everybody doing their job, whatever.
Okay, but that being said, LA really right now, and I don't want to debate because I post something on Instagram and everyone wants to talk about, hey, you're the liberal that voted for this shit. I didn't vote for any shit, okay? Yeah. I've been a pro law and order person my whole life. That does not mean I'm pro railroading people or keeping people down. So how are you feeling right now? Do you feel that there is a problem going on in LA right now?
Hell yes, a problem. Yes. I feel very out of place, and maybe because I'm younger and I have never experienced anything like this, and I've never lived in a place where it was like this. I've never lived in fear the way I do now.
So tell me what you mean exactly. You feel out of place. Like,
I feel out of place because this is not the type. It's not the person I am. It's not the things I've been around in my life. So it's almost like somebody putting you in a war zone. You can't put me in Call of Duty, and I've never played the game.
So growing up in Philadelphia, you're not a rich neighborhood.
I've never lived in the ghetto. I have never woke up to gunshots. I've never, seen police fucking people up. None of that.
Okay, so right now, though, what are you feeling that you're living in? You feel like, are you hearing gunshots?
I feel like, one, because they're targeting people who seem to have some sort of wealth or jewelry and designer things and stuff like that. And, like, I'm one of those people. You know what I mean? To the guy who was just sitting, me and my fiance, we go and we have lunch wherever. We love a good outside moment. Yeah. That is being targeted. Yeah. And the guy who was at Bossa Nova, who we pull up all the time, and I let her run in and get the food. Right. The guy that pulled up in front of Bossa Nova, who ended up dead trying to save his girlfriend. Right. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like all the things that we do in our common life, regardless of our tax bracket, are being threatened.
And that's why one of the
your
things,
bagel spot.
I don't even want to go.
It's on the radar.
Yeah, 100%.
It's on the radar. They
100%.
know you go there.
Yep.
Patrick Swayze used to go there. But the normal things. Yeah. I can see, we kind of know, hey, don't go down Skid Row flooded in diamonds. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or something like that. But now it's like, hey, be careful at that Walgreens.
Yeah. But I need to speak to the fact that a lot of people on Instagram, whatever, oh, now that rich people are getting targeted, oh, you give a shit. No, I always gave a shit. The point is, and I personally really believe this is almost organized terrorism. This 80 people getting together and we're going into Nordstrom's. These are not...
Well, that's exactly what that is.
This is not desperate broke people who need a meal. This is people who are basically going, let's hit the neighborhoods that will fuck up the entire system.
They're saying, fuck it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think the system is starting to crack. By the way, Ted Foxman, I go, you want to go to Fred Siegel for lunch? And you know what he says? I don't, and he's dead serious. I don't want to go to Melrose. I don't feel safe there. Yeah. That is when the entire society will collapse. And the reason why, and by the way, I'm not that rich. So when people want to throw out how rich, I'm not that rich. And that's not to diminish that I do have.
Are you trying to take the target off of yourself?
No.
You're
listen,
rich.
I got
it sounds like he's laying the groundwork.
I got my 2 German Shepherds, and I got 4 guns now, and I'm an anti-gun person. So I'm not trying to put a target or take it off of me. I'm just trying to say.
I'm buying guns.
I'm just trying to say what's happening now in this state, which they need to wake up and understand, is all the anti-gun people who have created a lot of laws that they want to help. They are now pushing people like myself who don't like guns into having no choice but to get guns. Yeah. So I had someone come to my house at 1 o'clock in the morning, ring the doorbell, and ask me for an address. It was clearly a mentally disturbed person. And again, I live up in the hills. People don't just walk up there and knock. I don't get any beat. And nobody comes on Halloween to my house. But he came, and I got my gun. I got my robe on, which Sarah was laughing because I was like really high when this happened. And she's like, why are you getting your robe on? I'm like, I don't know. Like, God forbid something happens. I don't want to be.
He doesn't want to offend any intruders.
Yeah, I don't want to scare. I don't want to really scare the guy, But came to my house and it was an uncomfortable situation because I could tell he was disturbed. He was mumbling to himself. The next day, I wake up, Citizens app. robbery down the block at the address that this guy was asking me for. And what I believe was happening, and I believe is happening in LA, there's some type of network that's telling homeless people where unoccupied homes are. And they're giving them addresses, and then they're going to squat at it because the house that he actually...
So he was squatting. He didn't rob it.
Yeah, I don't, and again, I don't want to I am a firm believer in how horrible, I don't know what I'm saying, firm believer. I want to help the homeless, the mentally ill, and all of that. But at the end of the day, we all need safety, or you're going to end up real quickly understanding why Israel operates the way they do. After a couple of bombs, all of a sudden walls go up and people go, fuck, it sucks that you're in that area, but you're not coming into this area unless we know you're safe. And I know that's what's going to happen now. Everyone's getting their guns. Everyone is talking about, oh, can we put a gate up here? Can we put a gate up there? And I think it's imperative that everybody who's a decent human being stands together and kind of goes, we have to figure out this problem together. And we have to understand which financial inequality is huge, but it's not just that. It is actual people taking advantage of the situation right now to go grab, like you said, a designer purse. It's not about grabbing a meal.
And a lot of people are bitching about that bail thing that was put in place.
Yeah.
For the people who, if the bail is under a certain amount, it's just like you can write yourself.
Well, it's insane to let somebody
walk.
Somebody walks into, my friend was at a T-Mobile store in Marina Del Rey 4 nights ago, and 4 guys walk in with hammers and start smashing the place up.
I've seen that on Instagram.
Yeah. So, I mean, those guys, they're not going to jail. They get arrested. There's no bail.
It's the holiday season. I mean, I know things are happening. The COVID COVID helped a lot of people, believe it or not. It helped. It harmed and hurt. It helped a lot of people. And those things have run out. It's a holiday. People were not smart with whatever the money they were getting, So I don't know. My only issue is the murder.
Yeah.
You don't have to kill someone. If you're going to, robberies happen all the time. Just like Clarence Avant's wife, may she rest in peace. They broke in his home.
My ex-wife grew up with her son, knows him since kindergarten. So, it is.
You rush in their house and you kill an 80-something-year-old woman. Yeah. You didn't have to do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's those type of things that are bothersome because why?
No, but that's why I don't think that's about desperation and poverty. That's like mental illness. That's anger. You
got to be crazy. You don't have to be certified, but you have to be crazy to come in somebody's house that's not yours.
No, I know. But
you know what I'm saying?
There's just such a large portion of people out there, though, that are basically screaming like, fuck the system and fuck anybody who's had success in life, which you are a person, again, I'm not going to sit here and say I grew up poor, but I grew up with a silver spoon and I worked my ass off and I got to wherever I am. You did not grow up with a lot of stuff, and now you have a good amount of stuff. You're not set for life by...
I don't have anything, Doug.
It's all gone. It's all gone.
I have fallen on hard times, officially.
Do you think, though, this is going to be a pattern, like, are you don't feel good driving around in a nice car right now. So
I do not.
So, but do you think this is going to be a cyclical thing? Because to be honest, there are countries, Venezuela, lots of areas in Mexico where if you want to drive around in this car, you're taking your life into your own hands. They will kidnap you.
I'm in America, and that's not the way it's supposed to go.
No. So what do you think? Do you think this is a temporary thing or what?
Nothing lasts forever for sure. But I think it's just going to be one of them things right now, especially if you're in Los Angeles. Protect yourself at all costs.
Yeah.
That's just it. Protect yourself. And I'm not even going to say protect your valuables because fuck them. Protect yourself.
Yeah.
If you come in my house, you can actually have it. Whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't. I really.
Know what I mean?
I'm not a possession guy, and just.
Yeah, I'm not either.
To take the target off my back even more, and I'm dead serious. There's nothing in my house to steal except for my TV's on the wall. I feel
the same.
I'm not a jewelry guy. I'm not a cash guy. I feel my
the same.
edibles, I don't think are that valuable. Like you're not gonna come in there for that. So
very expensive bagels.
The only thing you would not take is my studio equipment.
Yeah.
You would not take that.
You'd be upset.
You could wipe the house.
Yeah.
You're not taking that.
That's what I always worry about. Just my computer, where like everything I've ever written, even though it's in the cloud now, but I don't know. They're gonna come after the cloud next. I'm telling you, the fucking cloud is going on.
Everybody got the drop on parachutes.
So what else is going? You sent me a thing last night about these Elon Musk brain chips. What is that?
I'm just trying to figure out. There's so much going on in the world, and I just want to know. What is the purpose? Have you not heard anything?
I have.
Of these brain chips?
Well, I think there's a lot of purpose, and some of it's good. I mean, some of it is.
Well, help me understand.
Okay, so there's some things, and I'm not saying what's going to work or not, and I don't know what specifically Elon Musk, but they're talking about brain chips that can help paralyzed people, that can help them move again, the brain chips that can help blind people see again. So technology is an amazing thing, but at the same time, you know, we know what happened in the Terminator, RoboCop, War Games, etc., where the computers take over. And that was the thing that I saw that really freaked me out. They're reproducing. Did you see this? They're having, like, Ted explained this. They're having, like, robot babies or, like, having...
But no. Deeper than that, that one company that is asking humans permission to use their face on these robots, in their voices.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah. It's getting deep, and I'm just trying to figure out where are we going. Do we want a complete technical, what do you call it?
Like
a race?
I don't know, but it
because they're not human.
The question is, does it matter what we want? Technology is going to create it. So how do we control
I'm trying to
what's
figure
going to happen?
Is this what they want? Are we not good enough that you have to make?
I don't think we're good enough.
100 million robots?
I don't think we're good enough. You know, like RoboCop is such an amazing movie, actually. Maybe we should talk about that. And that's got to be 30 or 40 years old now. But it is where police officers are half human, half robots. And of course it goes awry because that's just what happens in movies technology. But what if there were able to make, because I still can't understand it, all the gun violence that ends up happening, I can't believe they can't invent a gun. I know the taser is an attempt at that. I can't believe they can't invent a gun like the Jetsons had, where a cop can just shoot somebody with like a circle of shit that fucking freezes them instantaneously.
Right.
At this stage of the game, we can't do that. You know,
they got a new mace that you can spray on someone, and it's like, it almost reminds you of slime. It sticks. You can't get it off.
Does it work though? I mean,
yeah, my friend has it.
I'd hate to spray that shit, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
It's super. It's super like powerful. It's almost like, you know, the equivalent of someone shooting a gun and they run ballistics. Like, you can't get that stuff off your skin.
But does it stop you from attacking somebody? Like, could I?
You spray him in the eyes, maybe.
Like, could I have sprayed the guy at my door and he would?
It's just that you'll be able to be immediately guilty. I mean, that's just the thing. It's like if somebody puts when you would they have money and they got ink in it?
Yeah.
You know, it's not going to get off the money. So we know you stole that.
I don't know though. I want personal safety for everybody. I think there's no society without that. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. We got to lighten this up. I want to come back. I want to talk about some Christmas movies that you love over the years. Is that all right?
I love Christmas movies all throughout the year.
All right, good. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back, Hollywood Wayz. Christmas is coming, Bre-Z.
Jingle bells.
You celebrate Christmas?
Yes.
Yeah?
I love Christmas.
Yeah, you got your tree up or what?
We're about to.
Yeah.
About tomorrow, maybe.
Right. So, I mean, like, I don't know. We're in all this political correctness. What do you feel about this? Like, are you allowed to say Merry Christmas, or you have to say Happy Holidays now? Are you allowed to focus on your own holiday?
I allowed?
Anyone.
I say Merry Christmas. I don't really get into that. You
know, because they're trying to cancel everything now. Like, I mean...
They can't. They're trying to cancel Christmas?
Well, that's been going on for a while, and again, I'm not a Trump guy at all, but you know, he was like, I'm going to say Merry Christmas. I'm not saying Happy Holiday, and I'm totally fine with that. I'm going to say Merry Christmas to you.
I think you say Happy Holidays if I know I'm not going to talk to you from before Thanksgiving to after the New Year.
Right, but a certain section of the society is trying to make it that it's always Happy Holidays, and you want to include everybody and everything. But I would like to say Merry Christmas to you. I'd hope you'd like to say Happy Hanukkah to me, and that's
Happy Hanukkah.
That's what we celebrate. But I want to talk about both things because I read some articles about some Christmas movies that they want to get rid of because they don't like the tone of them. I mean, it's. I'm starting to lose my mind. Like,
I've loved every Christmas movie.
But like classic Christmas movies, I'm trying to think about what they were talking about. Scotty,
Yeah, the New York Post had an article about canceling Christmas movies like It's a Wonderful Life, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
What's the problem?
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity.
Home Alone is my favorite.
Was there any toxic masculinity in that? Joe Pesci, maybe?
Joe Pesci, maybe Buzz.
Is Home Alone your favorite?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was a huge Macaulay Culkin fan as a child.
He's awesome. And, that's John Hughes. So John Hughes, is, I think, I'm not even sure if he directed it. I think Christopher Columbus might have directed that, but John Hughes, I think, wrote it. But he's Ferris Bueller and 16 Candles and Breakfast Club.
Oh, he's good.
Yeah. So have you ever seen Die Hard? I got to get. I mean,
think I have.
So Die Hard's Bruce Willis, which is an action movie where
a
terrorist group
older,
takes over. Older, fucking A.
Shut up.
It's like we're older. It's not older. It's probably the same time as Home Alone, isn't it? What year is Die Hard?
What's the
Die Hard?
what's
I think
the
was
other...
like 88, and I think Home Alone is 90.
I don't think Die Hard is 88. I think I was in L.A. already when Die Hard comes out. Nakatomi Plaza, but give me a real date on
the
it.
Christmas
Let's
movie
go to the videotape.
with James Franco.
Christmas movie with James Franco.
I love that movie.
Wait, what is Die Hard?
Everybody settle down.
Die Hard's
I don't know
not
what he's talking
79.
about. It's 80. I'm telling you, it's 88. I know what I'm talking about.
Are you right on that?
Yes, I'm right on that.
Wow, that's shocking. So I'm not even in L.A. yet when Die Hard comes out. But Die Hard is a classic Christmas movie that a lot of people. My girlfriend argues with me it's not a Christmas movie. I guess because there's guns in it, but it is a Christmas movie. And
88 and 90.
we now need Bre-Z to see Die Hard for sure because it's a classic. Bruce Willis and he takes over Christmas. So what are you going to do for Christmas? You got any plans or?
We holidays for us, it's about our family, and we just try to be together and just have a good time. Diego has a number of activities he wants to do in the house, so we'll be doing that and just chilling. We were talking last night, just trying to figure out what we're gonna have for dinner.
And what are you gonna get Diego for Christmas? Do you get him a weapon at 10 now or no?
Nah, he wouldn't even.
My
touch
first bolt-action rifle.
He wouldn't touch a weapon. I know for sure getting him a new iMac, getting him a new computer.
You know what movie you should watch? Ted just brought it up, but have you ever seen A Christmas Story? That's a movie I think Diego would like a lot. A classic movie about this kid who just wants this. At the time when I guess people weren't so sensitive about it, but
these kids are different these days.
Yeah, but he wanted a Daisy air rifle. But he'll laugh at this movie. Trust me. My kids watched it when they were kids, which is only 12 years ago.
Yeah.
He'll laugh his ass off at. I mean, you're gonna show him Home Alone. Like Christmas Story is a classic. You know, it's just a silly.
You never seen the one with James Franco?
I don't know what movie we're talking about. What is it? I'm sure I have.
What are you saying? A James Franco Christmas movie?
Yeah. I mean, is it Rogan is in there too? He's in some shitty Christmas thing I heard now on HBO. Does anyone know about that?
Hang on. James Franco Christmas movie. Oh, Surviving Christmas?
It's called Why Him.
No,
but
it's Surviving
That's
Christmas?
not the movie I'm talking about. No, it's called Why Him, and he has this girl who she brings her family to meet him, and they end up staying for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I remember the commercial, but I never saw it.
I love that movie.
He got canceled like right after that, so I don't know, but I do need to see it. You know what? I'd hate to speak facts that I don't know. He got accused of a bunch of shit. I mean,
wow.
I think they thought he was too good looking. I don't know what.
I thought he was good. I thought he was good in that movie.
I mean, forgetting his allegations because I really don't remember what they are. He's an amazing talent. And, you know, his movie that he did, which I'm going senile, but what's the fucking movie he did where he's Scotty, Ted, somebody help me. What's the
Spider-Man?
No,
the Disaster Artist.
The Disaster Artist.
The Interview.
Disaster Artist is a really good movie, and he's, in my opinion, he's the real talent out of him and Rogan. But whatever. So, all right. Well, so we're gonna bring Chris Spencer on, who actually is his wife Vanessa was casting for Entourage, and was obviously very helpful in getting us.
Chris was in. I mean, Chris was in my fiance Chris's one of her favorite movies.
Which one?
A Low Down Dirty Shame.
That's a good movie. Yeah. So.
Jesus, she knows every line.
So is she excited that Chris is here or not?
They're sitting next to each other here in the booth, and I'm really sure
she's probably
feels like
trying to figure out how to text him.
I don't see. Is Chris in that booth? I don't see Chris. There's Chris. Okay. No, I see Chris Spencer, but there's Chris. Okay. I'm blind, so I can't really see. But I don't know. Let's make sure.
Chris.
Let's make sure nothing's going on back there because that would
really
fuck up Bre-Z and Vanessa Rodriguez's Christmas. So, so when we come back, we'll come back with Chris Spencer. All right. Welcome back, Hollywood Wayz. We've got. I mean, it's a small town.
We got a legend.
Yeah, once things start going well for you a little bit, in which they're not going so well for me right now, but for both of you, they're going great. But anyway, Chris Spencer is married to Vanessa Rodriguez, who did casting for Entourage and is a good friend of mine. And Bre-Z worked with your brother-in-law on Empire, Adam. And anyway, what's going on, Chris? How you doing?
Man, I'm just trying to keep these kids in private school for one more month. That is my goal every month. How much money can I make this month to make sure they don't end up at Inglewood Christian and stay at the school they're at?
Right.
Well, we've been talking about everything that's going on in L.A. right now. And do you, I mean, Is this a media exaggeration? Do you feel less safe than you did 3 months ago?
I'm scared to death.
You are, right?
Yes, I am. Christmas shopping, grocery shopping,
Yep.
everything is online.
Yeah, we were just discussing that, like possibly just ordering everything.
Oh no, order everything.
Yeah.
And even if you do go inside to pick it up, have that shit delivered.
Yeah.
Like, don't be walking out with bags and all
Bags,
this
yep.
stuff, because these dudes are lurking,
Yeah.
waiting. I saw one video. These guys walked into this. It wasn't a residence. It was a place of business. They went straight to the guy with the diamond Rolex, put a gun to his head, took his Rolex, and walked out.
Yeah, the physical therapy office in Beverly Hills.
Of course, you knew.
The last place you think
the
you're
rich
going to
guy
be
knew.
robbed.
That's
Well, I put him
Foxman.
on the Rolex.
Foxman's our rich producer, but so armed robbery in this parking lot 4 days ago. So while we're all sitting here doing a podcast, a girl walked out from next door and tap and took her phone, and that's it. And I guess why I keep bringing this up is because there is a certain segment of the media that wants to pretend that this is not really happening, but it is. And what is happening is what you're saying. Everybody's locking themselves more in their houses than they were before, which is what we said earlier. What happens then? Everybody gets security guards. Everybody gets gates up, and it's not about rich people. It's about everybody not feeling fucking safe, you know?
It's very unsafe.
So, but still, while that's going on, you went and made a movie anyway. So tell us about that.
Well, the movie actually was before the shooting.
I was about to say that was before that.
I just made it.
Yeah.
So I made a movie kind of in the vein of like The Full Monty meets Magic Mike.
All right.
Right? It's a comedy about these black, what's the word? Male dance review guys who get back together after 25 years to help this woman who put them on save her hotel and the club that she actually started, which these guys got their start in.
And is this an indie?
It's an indie.
Yeah.
Gary Owen, Faison Love, Bill Bellamy, JB Smoove.
Oh, I love JB. I've been trying to get him on this podcast. Maybe you could help, Chris.
I got you. Wesley Snipes, Tiffany Haddish, and I got Kevin Hart to come do a day with us.
I like how you went the other way.
Yeah,
The list just starts growing.
I've been emceeing for years, so I know who's the closer.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what I love, we've been talking a lot about this lately. I know we had your friend on, Bentley Evans, who's
Great guy.
doing independent TV production.
Yes, killing.
So there's nothing I like more than people go out and make their own stuff happen. So
Right.
this is completely independently financed. How did you go about doing that?
Cocaine. No, a guy named Eli Samaha, who you probably heard of.
I you know what? I have a movie I almost did with Ely like
Yes.
30 years ago.
Right. So about 10 years ago, I sold a script to his company. It went
All these
away.
years?
Huh?
I said all these years ago.
Yes.
I'm like,
He's like, I was 4.
She's like, yes, I was doing hopscotch. And then they called me back 2 years ago, and you're like, we want to make this movie. I go, which one? Because he had 2 scripts, and they mentioned the movie. He had just got in and started doing business with a guy named Gino Taylor. And one of the script, they got a big budget, they got some funding, and they said, this is one of the first scripts we want to do. So they called me, and they're like, this is great. Who's going to direct it? And my writing partner, Eric Daniels, was like, well, Chris has to direct it. And I was like, yeah.
Have you directed before?
TV, videos, commercials, but nothing. This was my first feature.
Feature, yeah.
And it's totally different, especially when you have a 28-day shoot on the schedule and they say, can you do it for 20? So it was rough.
I've been there, but it's still great. So what are you allowed to talk about the budget? What kind of
Sure. 140 million, I think it was. It was under 10. I think that's the proper way you're supposed to say these things. It was under 10.
140 million, under 10.
I like it. It's under 10, could be 600 grand.
It could, it could be. No, it was over.
You rounded up.
Over 5 and under 10. So, and for a first, John Singleton, Gary Gray, like none of these people got budgets like I did. So I need to show and prove. And so I hope what we made is a pretty funny and entertaining
By the way, to
movie.
pull some of Tiffany and Kevin Hart and Wesley in an under $10 million movie, that's amazing. So
Right, well,
that means you're a good person.
I'm a good person.
That's what that means.
And they
That's
owe
what that
me.
says to me.
They owe me.
See what I'm saying?
So how do you let's go back to the beginning. How do you get started in this business? Where are you from?
Born and raised here, Inglewood, California. Moved to South Pasadena right when crack pulled up to Inglewood. So we moved from Inglewood February of '83, and crack pulled in March of '83. So I missed all that. We moved to South Pasadena, the suburbs. Where kids are having lunch on the grass with blankets and picnic baskets. I never saw this. It was almost stereotypic white school. And I was like, really, people really act like this?
Yeah.
It was like I thought they casted the school. So from there, I went to UCLA, and then that's when I started doing stand up. I kind of cut my teeth performing during Rush Week for all the fraternity houses. And we would perform there, and then we had like a little group of guys.
The fraternity houses would book you to do stand-up?
Yes.
Wow, that's
For
going to
Rush
be a
Week.
tough crowd.
I don't know. I mean, that was the only crowd I knew. And
Yeah.
Were
these
those
guys-
paid gigs?
Paid gigs, yes. So these drunk kids, they're trying to entice these freshmen or sophomores to join their frat. And, hey, on Friday night, we're going to have a comedy show with these guys. And it was like 4 or 5 of us. And we would do this I was there for 3 years. I did it for 3 years. And then I started doing open mics, Laugh Factory, Comedy Store, Improv.
I was doing that too, and we're born in the same year, so we might. I jumped out of stand-up pretty quickly, but I was doing stand-up in 91, 92. I'm serious.
And
So-
acting didn't work out.
No, it didn't work. I just didn't like leaving my house then. I mean,
Yeah.
so
Right.
I figured out how to raise money for a film, and then I moved on.
Was it Fat Beach or something?
Well, Fat Beach, I didn't raise the money for Fat Beach. I was hired to do Fat
Right,
Beach.
right,
but
right.
I did a couple of shorts that I raised the money
Got
for
you.
and got my start, whatever. So
It's a good feeling, though, right?
it's, there's, to me, and we're talking about it now with producer Foxman there, we're going to do our own independent thing right now, and it's got me as excited as when I was 25 to
It's the
avoid
best
all of the
feeling.
nonsense of
The meetings, the auditions,
Oh,
it's like
everything.
Yeah. If you can call Ted and tell him to write you a check.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
he still here?
Yeah, but we can't put
Chris,
a target on his
don't get
back.
any ideas.
Sorry.
So
And
yeah,
so
Chris has got a new movie for
I
you, Foxman.
immediately
I don't want to do Fat Beach too.
Fatter Beach. So I immediately I meet a manager named JP Williams. He goes, I was always real quick off. I did a lot of my act just
Off
bag
top.
and talk. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, can you do a real set? And I was like, sure. I did a real set. He goes, I want to do something different with you. I said, okay. He said, I'm gonna take you on tour with me and my client. I go, who's your client? Jeff Foxworthy. So I was the opening act.
Now
on-
he's isn't he like the red? Isn't
Yes.
it called the Redneck?
Yes.
Just doesn't seem like a
It's
good
the,
fit.
It's the blue collar tour now, but I was the opening act on the redneck tour. And many times people would be, they would say stuff to me that was ignorant. I wouldn't necessarily call it racist, but they'd be like, hey, you were a funny black comedian. I'd be like, thanks, white cowboy.
Yeah.
And so the whole audience is of most of the people from the South. And I wouldn't call them racist, but every now and then somebody would say some shit that would make me go, okay, man, you can't
You
say
took it
that.
too far.
Now, we'd be playing Monopoly with one of the guys who was selling his T-shirts. And every time I would land on his property, he would move. And I was like, sir, you can't do that. That's racist.
Now we're talking 30 years ago.
Yes.
Do you feel, with everything that's going on with social justice movement, blah blah, is there a change? Is it better now or not?
It's hard for us because we have to be careful because this is cancel culture.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny. I was with Dave last night. Dave came to the Comedy Store.
Chappelle?
Yeah.
Ooh.
And he was just talking about being free, and you got to be able to say these things. And a lot of comedians, Dave will do a stand up, and then all of a sudden it becomes a question and answer period. So there's a lot of comedians going, "Hey man, they saying every time I try to do something edgy, they go, you ain't Dave." And he's like, "Well, how are you gonna ever be Dave if you don't take those chances?"
Mm-hmm.
And so it was basically like a TED talk
Yeah.
of him talking to all the young comedians about what you have to do, and if this is canceled culture, then consider me canceled.
And do you think what happened with Chappelle in the last 2 months has affected him at all, where he would ever think about going easier? I mean,
No.
yeah, no shot, right?
Not when one company. Here's the thing that Dave has the advantage of over all of us. He has one company giving him $50 million. So if he talks about women or gays or whatever, he doesn't have to worry about going into a Disney meeting or NBC or Universal tomorrow and be confronted with this person. He's like, he has $50 million coming from right here.
Yeah.
And then so what he said was funny is like, I don't know if I can say this, but
You can say it.
the things that he reads is different than how he's treated on the streets. You know what I mean?
Well, because I think when we've talked about it before, it's a small minority group that is yelling really loudly about all
Right.
this stuff. And again, I don't want anybody to abuse anybody. I'm Jewish. We know I don't want to hear all the shit when people things. But Chappelle, he's a genius, and he finds a way to walk the line
Yep.
that I think is enlightening, not demeaning. But
Right.
obviously, there's other people who think differently. so.
But every era there's I mean, think of all your favorite comedians,
Yep.
the Lenny Bruces, the George Carlins, the Richard Pryors,
Yep.
the Eddies. There was always like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, the line is moved over a little bit.
Right. And I think that's the real problem is people look back and you're younger. That's why I like to watch movies with Bre-Z and see how they affect her because she only knows what's now because that's where she grew up. So, we were talking about it before you came on, but they're trying to cancel like It's a Wonderful Life. Apparently Jimmy Stewart was the definition of male
chauvinist.
Toxic masculinity.
Masculinity.
Right.
So
Right.
I think it's a very sad time. But anyway, we'll come back in a minute and keep going on.
Let's do it.
All right, welcome back. Hollywood Wayz. We're with Chris Spencer, comedian, filmmaker, actor,
The GOAT.
married to Vanessa Rodriguez. He's got it all going on.
You know, I call you the GOAT though. I think for us, like especially as Black people, like you were there when the Black movies were the shit. They're not that too much anymore, but I mean, almost every movie that was impactful for our culture, you was there.
Yeah, it's so funny that you called me the GOAT. I'm writing a book because I walked into a comedy club one day and this kid goes, "Oh my God, Chris Spencer, the GOAT." And I was like, "No, I'm the shepherd. I hang and herd the goats." So my book is about my relationships with Dave, Chris, Eddie, Kevin.
With the goats.
the real goats.
Yeah.
I'm around the goats.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't consider myself a GOAT. I mean, I guess I'm a GOAT in a different capacity. But in terms of stand-up, like, I don't think I'm on anybody's Mount Rushmore except for my kids. You know what I mean?
Which is the most important.
I put you on Mount Rushmore.
You can't see him on the non-video, but Chris is crying.
Yeah, I mean, but for us, and it is a different time. But all the movies, even like he didn't understand how much I love Fat Beach. But I come from a different place, and to me, that shit was cool. And Brian Hooks was cool in that, and I wasn't
great.
tripping. But there was when I seen Brian Hooks in High School High, like I loved it. But that was the type of stuff I liked.
Right.
Yeah. No, I just got to say, listen, Chris Rock used to make a lot of fun of Fat Beach. I was 22 years old. I got hired to do the best I could with a stupid script.
Right.
But the talent that I had in that movie, Brian Hooks and Jermaine Hopkins and others, those are, and by the way, Darren Aronofsky, who doesn't want to say it, but he was the second unit director on Fat Beach. Nobody knows that, but it's a great little piece of trivia. But Brian Hooks, who we have hung out together with Bre-Z, is
great
just
guy.
I mean, great and as funny as anybody. By the way, like we got to find something that really gets him out there.
Doug, back in the day, where I'm from, like in Philly, those movies sold in the hood.
Oh,
Yeah.
of
If I
course.
walked down the block, your shit was on DVD right here.
Yes, yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Or
Again,
tape,
again,
whatever that was.
By the way,
It was on tape, VHS, yeah.
all I'm saying, I'm not.
Be proud of it.
I am not
For-
embarrassed of Fat Beach at all.
Be proud of it for
And
the
the
culture.
fact when Chris Rock, which he did, used to get up in his stand-up and make fun of that movie. If you don't think that was some of the proudest moments of my life to watch.
I was about to say, because it could not be talked about at all.
I mean, I idolize Chris, and I know if I got his ear in any way, especially when I was 23 years old, I felt pretty damn good.
No, but there's some movies that are like hood classics.
That's
Paper
what-
Soldiers.
that's what I'm saying, yeah.
Soul Plane. Don't Be a Menace.
State Property,
Friday. Yeah.
yep.
So
So, I met with Ice Cube on Friday after Fat Beach because they just called. I didn't have an agent. I didn't have anybody. I was 22 years old. And then, I got the meeting. And when I got there with, and I'm embarrassed that I'm blanking on Ice Cube's partner.
Rick Alvarez.
Yes, who's a great guy. But they thought, when I was coming in, they thought I was going to be black.
Right.
Yeah. So, I wasn't. And I didn't get Friday, which it's a great movie. And I'm not saying it would have been as good if I did it. But it would have been nice if I did. But anyway, so what are you working on? You got a podcast now with
podcast with my wife called Date Night with Chris and Vanessa, where we talk to other couples as if it's a date. You guys got to come on, you and Chris, and we talk about
I'm
everything.
not bringing Chris over there by you. No, I'm joking. It's a joke. Chris, don't look.
I'm gonna come over and play catch with y'all's son. So that's Date Night with Chris
Told
and
him our
Vanessa.
business.
Yes, I was back there for a good 8 minutes. I'm
And
quick.
do you guys, what do you guys do on this podcast? Because I know Vanessa, who I love to death, but
Right.
Vanessa has a fiery
Yes.
Instagram profile,
Yes.
and she will fuck people up.
So she has a moment called. She has two moments where she has a gratitude moment, and then she has a call to action, and that's when I kind of let her do her thing within the program. And then we have experts on. We've had Tiffany Haddish on. We've had Deion Cole. We've had the Kojos. We've had Holly and Rodney. We've had Waka Flocka and his wife. We've had
Tammy.
we had Nkechi and John Carroll. Yep. So we've had plenty, and then a lot of experts.
and
the
how
guy-
is doing a podcast with your wife? Because my girlfriend and I, we talked about doing a podcast, but I don't know.
I
is
was
that-
worried for a while. Like I had been pushing off projects with her. I was like, I don't want to mix church and state. I don't want to be fighting with you at home about the same shit we're fighting at work. And it worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
So we fight
Might
on the air.
be a better way to talk too.
We fight on the air.
Might
and
be a
then
better way
we
to
don't
talk.
fight at home now.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
Now
we
you
work
guys
well
are-
together.
Yeah. I can
So
see that.
yeah. So and Real Husbands season 6 is coming back.
So Real Husbands,
Let
you
me not say
created.
that again. Let me say yeah.
You got so much shit going on. It's insane.
I got kids in private school.
Are you?
So I co-created with Kevin Hart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not really season 6. It's actually season 1 of this new streaming version of Real Husbands, which is going to be on BET Plus.
Oh, nice.
And then a linear version will be on BET after I guess it's already done whatever it needed to do on streaming.
And are you running that show too?
No, that's what I'm allergic to is the show running.
This is a great system. So you wrote the pilot with Kevin or what?
Wrote the pilot with Kevin, and then Ralph Farquhar, who's his resume is from Married with Children to Moesha, and the Proud Family.
Dope.
He was a showrunner, and he ran the show. I was Scottie Pippen, so we both.
Don't
won the
say
champion-
that. Scotty says he's better than Michael now.
Yeah, well, I'm better than Ralph. So no, I'm not. He's Michael Jordan, and I got to win the same amount of rings as him.
Yeah.
So. But the pressure of being in a room and controlled and having to deal with the network and the writers and
It's a lot.
it's too much.
I see what NK goes through, and I'd be like, "Sheesh."
That's showrunner of
Yeah,
American.
she's running 2 shows at the same time right
Yes.
That's mind-boggling.
now. She's
That's my
running
kid.
All American and our spinoff.
That's my kid's favorite show.
All
All American.
All American. We don't
Nice.
miss an All American.
Yeah, Breezy's
Am I-
pretty damn good on that.
Oh, she's excellent.
He just seen it. He just seen it.
But
yeah.
listen. So my son was on like episode 4, the first season, right in the beginning. And
Your
my
son was on
daughter,
All American.
No, huh?
Your son was on All American.
No, watching it.
Okay.
Because my daughter's best friend is Isaiah Carroll, who is
Oh,
NK's son. Yes. So we were like on episode 8 into the first season, and she was behind. She watched every single one of them on a school night. Like we hear her giggling and making noises in the room. We walk in the door. There's a light on her face. I go, It's 4:00 in the morning. She goes, I know. I got to see what's going on.
So it's a weird show how it's hit because it's not just like the young kids. I have like
Right.
all my old white friends in New
Right.
York are obsessed with the show and
It's
obsessed
a great.
with Coop.
The writing is incredible. The characters are incredible.
What show did you guys have coming up that was just a show that your family just watched? Like you guys put on TV, whole family sits in the living room and watch.
Well, the first thing that pops up to mind was weird because I wasn't allowed to watch with the family. And if you ever watched the show, you'd be so. Like it was considered too racy when we were kids. Three's Company. It was like
Company.
my parents and my
Come and
older
knock on
brothers.
your door.
Because one thing, I know that show. So I know that our show definitely just brings families together. I haven't seen a
Yes.
show like that in a long time.
Yeah.
Right.
But everybody I talk to, everybody I come in contact with, it's like our family. It's not
Monday
me.
night.
It's not my kids. It's our family.
Must see TV.
This is the one thing. Even my this lady who ran up to me and Chris, she was like, "This is the one thing that my family hasn't been brought together in so long because
awesome.
because the kids are just growing different and they're growing separate ways from the household very
Right.
quickly." He was like, "But this one thing really brings
Why?
my
Because
family
it
together."
deals with the stuff that kids are doing in high school.
for sure.
And then with Tay and the ex-wife, what they're going through,
Yep.
it relates to us. And then us as adults dealing with these kids.
Yeah, it's
it
giving
just-
you a
it
bird's
works
eye view of what's going.
everything. Everything.
Yeah, but I don't know of a show personally that has done that.
I mean, back in the day, I'm trying
No
to
matter
think.
the
I mean, we're the
race.
same age, but
Right.
what were we watching that was like, I mean, Cheers in my house was
I don't
on
think I
all the
watched
time,
Brady
but-
Bunch with my family.
That's
No.
what I'm saying. What were you watching with your parents?
I guess
Probably-
Cosby Show.
Cosby Show I watched with my parents. Cheers I watched with my
I
parents.
didn't watch In Living Color with my parents.
No.
I
No.
did. See, that's the thing. That's probably my mom's fault. My mom, I'm into all that stuff because of
But
my
maybe
mom.
I think we were a little older.
Yeah,
by the
we
time
are a
In Living
little
Color.
older,
Yes.
yeah.
In
But
Living Color was
we were in
my-
college and stuff, or after college.
Is
yes.
In Living Color when you're like in high school? I'm trying to think when
No,
that is.
I know I wasn't in high
like
school.
92, 93 is Living Color.
Yeah, I was. I mean,
Yeah. No, I don't think my parents were even able to
No.
comprehend what In Living
I
Color
was
was.
like-
I was
Eight,
loving it.
8 is enough.
8 is Enough is a good one. Yeah,
I was like
we
7,
watched that
8
for
years
sure.
old when.
Oh, you know what though?
There,
More than I mean,
what year was Mad TV?
Oh god,
That was like
97.
late.
97.
97. But I was still
That's what-
watching it.
I know when it was because I had a late night talk show and it started in 97, the same time as Mad TV.
Jesus Christ.
What was that?
What the fuck
It was called
haven't you
Vibe,
done?
like the
Oh,
magazine.
Vibe. Yeah.
And then remember I got fired and they hired Sinbad. That was that whole era.
Yeah.
Right.
And then I was going up again. Here's what they effed up and did. They put Arsenio was gone, and then they're like, you know what? We need a black talk show. So they put me and Keenan on. We launched exactly at the exact same time. And then we went, and we were basically fighting for this small black audience.
Mm-hmm.
Then I fell off. They brought on Sinbad, and then Keenan fell off, and then they brought on the Magic Hour, and then there was no more black talk shows.
How'd you feel about getting replaced by Sinbad? I feel like there's a little animosity about it.
No, not at all.
No.
That's my OG. Like, I look up to Sinbad. I mean, listen, if anybody would have replaced me, I would have been
I was
mad.
about to say, yeah, you can't really be mad at.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, when it's that somebody that
people
funny and that good,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
If it would have been like Carrot Top, then I'd be like,
What the hell is that?
It's amazing how much it is.
you
It's
know what Carrot
amazing
Top
though.
is?
No. I'm saying
Oh,
you would have
right,
been
yeah.
like,
Who the hell
what
is that?
Yeah.
It's amazing though, Chris, how much stuff you've done now. So tell me about this movie. When is it going to be done? What is the plan then
The
to
plan,
get it out?
We want to go theaters,
Mm-hmm.
right? If they
So
stop-
no distributor yet.
we're weighing our options.
Okay.
There's a lot of people who want. I mean, the cast is so incredible, and the director he's fantastic. So
Chris is the director. In case you forgot.
there's a lot of people who want it. So we're just trying to weigh our options and see who gives us the most money,
All right,
and who's
well,
gonna give us the most theaters.
well,
I think the dope thing now is that they're releasing in theaters and on one of these
Yes, streaming
exclusive-
services,
Yeah,
yes.
I love that. Like
Yeah.
when I realized I didn't have to go see King Richard in theater, I'm like, babe, this on fucking.
I know this is
Right
what,
here.
but it
We
scares
in
me
the
that
bed watching
nobody's going to leave their house again. And to me, there's nothing better than seeing a great comedy in a theater with everybody laughing. So I
Surround
I can actually
sound
watch
and-
King Richard. I don't need to be in an audience and seeing if
You
someone's
got to
crying
hear the
next to
laughs
me.
that come from
I
my
just,
bedroom.
I just love.
We laugh hysterically.
I bet, but
We don't even care.
I don't know. And just a little unknown fact. I mean, Fat Beach was legitimately under $100,000, and that was released on 400 screens and still plays 30 years later. So again, I'm not embarrassed about it at all, and I think it was the start of my career, and it's where I'm going back to now. So I love you and Bentley like going out and making these things on your own the way you want. Obviously, if you can get Kevin Hart, which you know,
Feeling
maybe,
inspired?
maybe you can get Kevin for this podcast too. That would be awesome,
That's
Chris.
he's so rough. He's so hard to get.
He's so busy.
Yeah.
Well, he
he's
also, you know,
ridiculous.
he has which we've I think made up. I think he's gotten past it, but he was very pissed at me when we didn't cast him on Entourage. And when I say we, I mean Vanessa, your
Right.
wife as well.
Right.
He read for a little
Turtle,
part.
right?
No, it wasn't for a main part. It was like season 4. He read for something. Vanessa and Sheila were all like, "This guy's a star," and I cast Bow Wow. Just it was like, you know, one of those things. You got 100 things, and then all of a sudden I was hearing this is before Kevin is Kevin. Everyone's like, Kevin Hart says you're a douchebag. I'm like, who the fuck is Kevin Hart? And then Kevin blew up, and I'm like, Kevin, why do you think I'm a douchebag? But anyway,
I came in for Entourage. I don't know if you remember this. I came in. I thought all these dudes were from Boston, so I came in wearing a
The
Celtics
Boston.
jersey, and all these dudes were like, "Oh, the Paul Pierce. We like Paul Pierce." I said, "Yeah, you know, I was representing Beantown." They were like, "We're from New York."
what did you read for?
Turtle.
You talking for the pilot?
Yes.
Oh wow, I don't
Wow.
remember that.
Yes.
Vanessa must have kept that. Were you already dating, obviously, or
She was picking up on me.
yeah, she was trying to lock you
She's
down.
like,
She's like, I'll get
How
you this
can I
part.
get him? I'll try to get him in Entourage.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I love Vanessa. Everybody should check out this podcast,
Yes.
Date Night.
Yeah.
Did we get the name of the new movie?
Yeah, what is the name?
It's called Back on the Strip.
Back
it
on
was,
the Strip.
It was called My Magic Johnson,
Wow.
but he wouldn't let me keep the name.
Back on the
Wouldn't that have been
Strip.
great?
Yeah.
That's a good title. You had another great title, too, which we're going to wrap this up. But this title of this movie I never heard. The 41-year-old virgin who knocked up Sarah Marshall and felt super bad about it.
Yeah.
Is that a movie I should
That's
I
a
watch
title?
That's the title
It?
of the
Yeah.
movie.
It's one of those like
Oh.
spoof movies. Like,
Got it.
It's
It's very funny.
Got it.
So where do I get that movie?
Sears? I don't know.
It's not on iTunes? Nothing?
I have no idea. I never went back to watch
See,
it.
this is what happens when, Ted, you'll
It's
learn
on
this.
Tubi.
Hopefully in 10 years we'll have a long bio of work, but the fact that he doesn't even remember where to find this movie, he's got so many
It's on
things.
Amazon Prime and Apple TV and Tubi. So you're
All right,
good.
I'm gonna,
And that's
I'm
the
gonna check
thing.
that
No
out.
matter how bad you think something is that you have done or not done or whatever, these films are available everywhere, which is the greatest thing about this streaming network.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see all of it. I'm excited about this new movie you got going. I'm going to check out Date Night because Vanessa is,
I
you
wish
know,
you would have
I
called
love.
me for the Magic Strip. Shit.
Yeah, what the fuck?
What the fuck? I don't know.
There's more. This isn't my last movie, I promise.
I'd like to produce Magic Strip 2.
First of all, what is Magic Strip, ladies and gentlemen? It's called Back on the Strip.
Oh, sorry.
Magic.
called-
by
it was
the way,
called-
by the way,
I
Magic
went
Strip
for-
was making me think something
Magic
else
Strip.
that I just.
That might be
did not-
number. Maybe that's the name of number 2.
I was going for whatever.
Yes.
All right, we just had, we don't have a guest, but we just had another guy walk by in the office because do you see who just walked by? We got crazy shit that goes
Charlie
on.
Sheen, right? Yes.
There's always crazy shit happening in this office. It's always magical and special. So, but that's not about the podcast, although maybe Bre-Z could convince him to come on this next. We'll see. I'm going to introduce them. So, Chris, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you so much.
Bre-Z, I'm a big fan.
Thank
Keep doing
you.
your thing.
Thank you. I'm leaving you at the top of Mount Rushmore. See you when I get there.
We shall
Where's
be
the Kleenex?
back. Welcome back, Hollywood Wayz. I just love, I do. I love having these people on who are not only creative but entrepreneurs as well that are going out and doing stuff. So what are we going to do on our own here? What are we going to do, Bre-Z? We got to come up with something.
I know we should.
Yeah. So what do you got? You locked into All American for 40 years, or what's the contract they signed
I don't know. The thing is that when it comes to films, my show actually loves me and I love them back, and they do allow me to do films. You know, it's just with TV. They don't want to see you on other TV shows.
Yeah.
And I get it. That's cool. I don't even want to. Like, as much as my show does, I don't want to go to another TV show and do that.
But do you have any desire, because, Chris, as he was saying, Bentley, who you weren't here for, they were actors, comedians, writers. They're doing all of it. Do you have any desire to direct?
I have a lot. I have
Yeah?
a lot of desire to do all of it.
Because I could see you being a good director.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to honestly get in the space where I can get these thoughts out of my head.
Which thoughts?
Of what I want to do.
Okay.
Ideas.
I thought there was like.
No, like ideas for scripts.
demons.
And the thing about me is that I know one script that I want to do, and I've literally have been having the dream for years. The same story for years. And I'm like, I have to do it. And I watch, we watch what comes out. Nobody's told the story the way I want to tell it.
Well, what I try to say to everybody, and again, take it for what it's worth, like, don't wait. Just fucking start getting moving.
Well,
I know,
me,
it's
it's about aligning myself with people. You got to understand, I'm still fairly new in this town.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself to really trust that many people here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You trust me?
I do.
You're getting there.
No, I do. I don't think you would take anything from me.
No.
I don't think you would do that.
No.
So
I mean, maybe your watch, but
that's why I don't have it. But anyway, that I can trust to guide me, and people are not big fans of sharing their time in this town.
Yeah.
And I've always felt like, as in my culture and my people, our biggest, letdown downfall was just the lack of knowledge. So until I'm able to find someone to actually help me, or and guide me to what I'm trying to do, Other than that, I take the time and learn on my own.
You know what's interesting? Because Chris and Bentley, Bentley was talking about. I mean, Martin Lawrence just stuck by him, saw his
Bentley's
talent.
one of those guys, and he's someone that I've sat and spent hours talking to who is willing to help me.
Yeah.
So he's a different person, but everybody's not like that.
No, of course. I'm just saying, they were great stories because, and they seem like Chris and Bentley ran with a lot of the same crews. But when you have these guys coming up that you're like, yeah, Martin Lawrence is funny as shit, Kevin Hart's funny as shit, you don't know that they're going to make it. But when they do explode the way they are, and then Kevin Hart's willing to come back for Chris's movie.
Did you watch the new Kevin? The True Story with him and Wesley Snipes?
No, but I heard it's really good.
Oh, my gosh.
What's it called?
True Story.
I gotta watch
True
it.
Story.
I gotta watch it. It's
on Netflix.
I'm
It's
still
really
scarred
good.
by Kevin being mad at me, so it's hard for me to, watch.
I love this one because maybe we should talk about that
Next time. Okay. What's
True
it called?
Story.
All right.
Netflix.
So let's
Kevin
do
Hart,
that.
Wesley Snipes.
All right. Done. Is it a one thing or is it a series?
It's a series, but it's a
That's
short
all right.
series. It's a limited series.
I can get through it. That's what we're going to talk about next time, and hopefully, Bre-Z's like she's going down with there's no watch on, there's no ring on. I don't even think you're wearing the necklace I got you. Like you're just stripped down.
Yeah, I'm
so
very stripped. Yeah.
So I don't know. Hopefully you still got some good sneakers on.
Fuck
but
'em. You know how many pairs of this exact shoe I have? I wore the oldest one.
This is really. It's
just
really,
don't take my hoodie. This is Drake. This is a Drake hoodie, and I love it.
It's really fucking sad what's going on.
Yeah.
So hopefully everyone gets it right, and hopefully everyone stays safe. And
stay safe.
We shall be back.
You are now tuned in to Hollywood Wayz with Doug and Bre-Z. Oh, hey Ted.